So this is part 2 of the £15 PC. It turns out that the 2 pins that I need to connect are these, but even though the fans are spinning, there's no signal to the monitor when it turns on. I thought this could be solved by adding a graphics card, so I added a 4GB GTX 1050 Ti, and I also changed the power supply to a power supply that I trust more, which is a 500 watt Xilinx power supply that I've used for about a year. This would solve a display problem, and if the power supply before was faulty, maybe the power supply would allow the computer to turn on. Also, when the computer turns on, both my mouse and keyboard are RGB, and the RGB doesn't turn on, so I'm not sure if that too shows what the problem may be. And I turned it on, the fans were spinning, as you can see, but there was still no signal to the monitor. So I thought maybe I could move the DVI port to the integrated graphics on the motherboard, because maybe the PCIe wasn't working, except still after doing this there was no signal to the monitor. Another thing that I tried was resetting the CMOS, but after doing so I still did not get a signal. The CMOS is the thing that wipes the motherboard memory, so, well, not wipes, it resets it, but that still didn't work. I then tried with a different monitor because maybe for some reason it didn't like the DVI ports. So this monitor is a 1080p 144Hz monitor with DisplayPort, but even though it's a different monitor, I still got no signal. I also have changed the CPU and RAM many times, but even with that I still get no signal. So I thought that the motherboard was the problem, as it probably would have been. So I swapped it for a different one, which only has 2 RAM slots instead of the 4, which means I can only have 4GB of RAM because this is DDR2. I kept the same power supply and graphics card and the same processor because I'm pretty certain that the processor is working, and the graphics card is definitely working. And so don't buy a Carbonite thermal pad. It ripped. It's meant to last a long time, and I think I bought it a week or 2 ago and it's already ripped, which is quite annoying, to be honest. So then I replaced it with the same processor, and I did have different RAM. I had 2 sticks of 2GB DDR2 RAM at 800 MHz with golden heatsinks on, and I put back my ripped thermal pad. Thankfully it's not ripped in the middle, but it is quite annoying that it's been ripped on the side. Also, again, I have used this 1050 Ti quite a lot, and I've used it recently in another PC build. It does work, so I can't imagine that the no signals to that, or maybe it might be that the PCIe isn't working, but then the fans were spinning, and it only gets its power from PCIe. So I'm still not sure. So after building it and plugging in the second monitor that I've decided to try, I turned it on with the new 2 pins that's fine, but thankfully they were labelled on the motherboard. But when I turned it on, a bit later it just turned off, which might be a power supply issue, but at this point I've been trying for so long. I might make part 3 if it is the power supply, but if it's not, I won't bother. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. I'll definitely have next video out by Sunday, but I might make another one between that. Okay, see ya.